Meet Arthur Morgan, a failed robber, and now, a homeless son of a virgin. I find myself in control of this poor man's version of Clint Eastwood, and use my two thumbs to guide my horse and the boys through this seemingly endless blizzard. The gang are relying on my help to find some food, but it seems as if I am always doing the dirty work. Why not send one of the female gang members out in the cold, whilst I await delivery of some fine cuisine? Because, you know, equal rights. Anyway, aside from some truths, we eventually find some naughty individuals at a gathering. They turn out to be too intoxicated for my liking, as they challenge my boy to an arm wrestle. So I think fast, and punish them for their inability to consume alcohol responsibly. After we destroy everybody on site, we clear the house, and I find some tasty snacks lurking in the kitchen cupboards. I adopt the one for me, one for the gang approach, as I down a can of sweet corn, quickly followed by a can of peaches. Before leaving, I find a crafty fellow lurking in the barn. Needless to say, he was treated to some harsh words, a tickle and a ban from watching My Little Pony for the next 7 days. The pain is too much to bear, so he proceeds to tell me where his gang are hiding. What a noob. Having settled in the new camp, the next task was to look for Little John, who is so named after his disability of having a micro penis. Johnny had been missing for a couple of days, and we were required to track him up a mountain, eventually finding the saucy minx perched on the side of a cliff. He looks a little worse for wear, and tells us that he was attacked by some wolves. But we all knew that his dirty little secret of cross-dressing at the weekends was always going to end badly. Some wolves actually did try and attack us on the return, but I unleashed a secret little weapon of my own. I gunned them down one by one, like the psychotic mess I am. And as I proceed to end the final puppy, Javier's horse decides he couldn't be bothered anymore, and stamps on the brakes, killing John in the process. The second attempt goes a lot smoother, and Little John is returned to the camp. But we now have bigger fish to fry, as our disabled friend explains to his wife why a selection of her undies are nowhere to be seen. Thanks to the Little Pony diehard, we were able to locate the gang that we had been searching for. The goose did good. After watching the cheeky devils from a vantage point, I needed to equip my rifle, which was stored with my gallant steed. That's easier said than done. I even received some banter from the boss.
That rifle's no use to us sitting on your horse, Arthur.
A little harsh, as it is my first time playing the game.
A few moments later.
After making it look all too easy, we eventually make our way down to level ground by foot, slowly approaching the enemy. Whilst the gang make plans for an attack, the adrenaline pumping through my veins gets the better of me, so I begin World War III. Fortunately, no Russians are in attendance, and it is a fair fight. It was an easy win, but a good effort from the scrubs nonetheless. Once all of the enemies were eliminated, I began to feel guilty. So I decided to pick up all of the coins these poor chumps had dropped from their pockets, and place them all into my own. World domination, here I come. We come across a straggler following the great battle, who goes by the name of Kieran Duffy. He wanted to play the game Kiss Chase on horseback, which was quite imaginative of him, but I am anti-lip contact on first dates. So I lasso the troublemaker, and drag his face through the snow to show him I am the man in this relationship. To keep things exciting, I bound his hands and legs and attached him to the Millennium Falcon, which is the name of my horse. The poor lad began to look thirsty, so I yeeted him into the river so he didn't dehydrate. Mr. Duffy quickly adapted to the environment, and began flapping around like a migrating salmon, until I looted his pockets, and the little pussy just died. I quickly kill the time waster to vent my frustrations, but on the third crack, we reach home base. Just like I did with his mother. It feels so good doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, boy.
After a busy schedule, I thought it was maybe time for some well-needed shut-eye. But my man Charles had other plans. Hunting was on the agenda, as the camp were growing hungry, yet again. The fat bastards. So a crash course in deer hunting was in order, which saw me take out the first in record time, and then I quick-scoped another. As the saying goes, work smart not hard, so I allowed Charles to collect the furthest kill, as I sprint the 10 steps to collect the deer closest to me. Deer hunting felt a little too easy, so with confidence sky high, and armed with a mighty bow and arrow, I decided to fire at the first grizzly bear I saw. The big fluffy man killer didn't seem to appreciate being pinged by your man Arthur all too much. Yet it was all going pretty swimmingly, as my testicles were now the size of basketballs. But my overkeen attitude to finish the bear off saw me fail yet another mission. Like and subscribe to see me fail more missions. With venison now on the menu, the gang were now well nourished, and what better way to celebrate than to perform a train heist to round off the day. The plan is to blow the train line so we can slay the locomotive's passengers and collect sweet rewards. I go down to help my boy arming the dynamite, but decide to shoot the detonator first to see if he has beaten me to it. No such luck. As a qualified electrician, I take the spool of wire and run the cable to the detonator. In classic McDundee fashion, I use the biggest knife I could find to attach said wire. Perfect. I return to the squad and await the arrival of the train, but for some reason or another, the operator of the detonator fails to explode the track, so the train continues passing. I did my job, chief. You need to do yours. The only option we have left is to go to plan B, which involves jumping on the moving vehicle and hoping we survive the landing. But there is always one which fails to read the memo. Poor form, Javier, poor form. Some quality tunes play in the background, whilst we begin to unleash hell on the unsuspecting passengers. With promise of some sweet loot at the end of this journey, I ensure that no cash is unspoken for, and empty the pockets of every fresh kill. Just as the end is in sight, some camping fucktard hits me in the face with a shovel. How rude. After a kinky back and forth, the bearded woman finally tires, and is thrown overboard, so I can stop this hot steamy mess. Once at a standstill, an unholy number of nerds begin to safely pile out of the cars, like an average day in Tokyo. But these minions are no match for my supreme rifle skills. Having slaughtered everybody in sight, we find the last car is locked up with some pansies hiding inside. They refuse to open the door, so the dynamite can be used to good effect on this occasion. A search sees me acquiring a platinum pocket watch, some fine brandy, a cigar and a pile of bearer bonds. The boss approves.
Well done.
I am left to deal with the guards in an appropriate manner, so I whip out my weapon and blast the first in the head, completely missing the second but finishing the third for good measure. 2 out of 3 isn't so bad. After sending the train on its merry way, the gang decide to leave the snowy mountains in search of some better weather. Apart from a wheel falling off the wagon, we arrive at our new base, which honestly looks pretty shite, but at least somebody is pleased.
You weren't wrong, Hosea. This place is perfect.
It appears we have now downgraded from some comfortable cabins, complete with utilities, to camping outside, thus exposing my collection of dirty magazines to the elements. To help curb my furious anger, I then proceed to watch this lady clean some tables, and she does a fine job. Rather her than me. I then treat Arthur to a well-deserved shave, and a change of outfit to maintain street cred, as Lord knows he needs to.